So let's take a look at theories that we want to be familiar with, which mostly means people, although we have a little bit on natural and artificial selection, stuff that you're probably already pretty familiar with, but we'll go over it real quickly because it does show up on the exam. So we start off here, we have 5 questions, and these questions will show up again at the end of the video, at which point, great idea to pause it and make sure you can answer it, right? A lot of times when we're just listening or reading something, we think we have it, and then when we get asked the question, we find out we don't. So we'll go over these 5 again as we get to the end of the video, but the theory of the Earth, what is that? James Ussher, when did he believe the Earth was created? Lamarck's theory on physical characteristics. MRSA, what is the rise of that an example of? And Malthus, what did he propose about human population? So we'll go through all that. Cuvier did not believe in organic evolution because any change in an organism's anatomy would have rendered it unable to survive. But in his essay on the theory of the Earth, the fossils that he did discover supported his theory that catastrophic floods led to the extinction of many species. Even before the discoveries of Lyell and Darwin, a man named James Ussher attempted to determine the age of the Earth, and he did this by counting the generations of the Bible and adding them to modern history. He decided that the date of creation was October 23rd, 4004 BC. You do not need to know that exact date. If you know 4000 BC, that should be good enough. Although Lamarck theorized that the idea of acquired characteristics, his theory may have been disproven through experiment and real-life observation. For example, if a dog's ears are cropped short, its puppies are stillborn with long ears. With natural and artificial selection, natural selection stems from variation in physical traits, differential reproduction, heredity, and the passing of more advantageous traits. Without these factors, natural selection will not occur. I would imagine we're all pretty familiar with that. Over evolutionary time, many cave-dwelling organisms have lost their eyes. Tapeworms have lost their digestive systems. Whales have lost their hind limbs. These traits were not passed on to the next generation because the organisms with these traits were not chosen due to natural selection. Artificial selection is an artificial mechanism by which evolution can occur. It is commonly seen with the careful breeding of plants or animals in order to promote traits that suit human preferences. In this case, it is synonymous with the more widely used phrase selective breeding. It contrasts to natural selection in that it is both intentional and guided. So those are terms that you might want to be familiar with. And then we can look at MRSA here for a second. It can be considered an example of artificial selection because humans synthesize methicillin and create environments in which bacteria frequently come into contact with methicillin. Due to humans synthesizing this substance in the presence of bacteria, a subsequent environment would result in a stronger resistance to methicillin. And then let's talk about Malthus here for a second. In his essay on the principle of population, he proposed the principle that human populations grow exponentially, while food production grows at an arithmetic rate. Malthus expressed his fear that the extended population growth could directly lead to poverty and famine. All right, so that gets us to the end of this video. So again, we have those 5 questions that we talked about at the beginning. I think it'd be wise to hit the pause button, make sure you're comfortable answering all of these questions so that you're ready for the theories portion of the AP Bio exam.